In the frozen Ural Mountains of Russia, 9 experienced hikers set out on an expedition in January 1959. None of them would return alive. When rescuers finally found the campsite, the scene was beyond explanation. The tent had been slashed open from the inside. Their belongings and shoes were left behind. Bodies were scattered across the snow, some half-dressed, others with broken skulls, missing eyes, and even a missing tongue. 60 years later, the Dyatlov Pass Incident remains one of the darkest and most terrifying unsolved mysteries of the 20th century. What really killed those hikers in the snow? The group was led by 23-year-old Igor Dyatlov, a skilled engineer and experienced outdoorsman. Alongside him were 8 others, students and graduates from the Ural Polytechnical Institute. They were young, strong, and trained for extreme conditions. On January 23, 1959, they began their trek across the icy slopes of the northern Urals. Their destination was Mount Otorten, which in the indigenous Mansi language ominously translates to "Don't go there." The group was in good spirits. They took photos, kept diaries, joked, and sang songs around the campfire. Their journal entries reflected excitement and camaraderie. But within days, their laughter would turn into silence. On February 1st, the group pitched their tent on the eastern slope of Kholat Syakhl, the Mountain of the Dead. It was an odd decision. Just a few hundred meters downhill, they would have found shelter in the forest. Instead, they chose to camp exposed on the mountain face. No one knows why. That night, something happened. Something so terrifying that the hikers ripped their way out of the tent, fleeing barefoot and half-naked into the negative 30-degree blizzard. Weeks passed before rescuers located the campsite. What they found horrified them. The tent was slashed open from the inside. Supplies, boots, coats, all left behind. Footprints in the snow led downhill, but they were strange. Some showed bare feet, others socks, some only one shoe. The first 2 bodies were found under a cedar tree, stripped to their underwear, their hands raw from clawing at the bark. Had they tried to climb in desperation? 3 more were discovered between the tree and the tent, as if they were attempting to crawl back. Months later, 4 additional bodies were found deeper in the ravine. These were the most disturbing. One had a crushed skull, another had broken ribs, injuries similar to a car crash. One woman was missing her tongue and both eyes. And here's the detail most people don't know. Traces of radiation were found on some of the clothing. Over the decades, countless theories have been proposed, but none fully explain the horror of Dyatlov Pass. 1. Avalanche. The official Soviet explanation was a small avalanche. The group panicked, cut open the tent, and fled. But experts argue there was no evidence of an avalanche. No displaced snow, no trauma consistent with burial. 2. Military testing. Some believe the hikers accidentally wandered into secret Soviet military tests. Strange orange lights were reported in the sky that night. Could falling parachute mines have caused the bizarre injuries and radiation? 3. KGB cover-up. A darker twist suggests some of the hikers were recruited as couriers for classified materials. They may have been intercepted by operatives, killed to keep secrets hidden. The mutilations? A warning. 4. Paranormal forces. Locals, the indigenous Mansi people, long warned that the mountain was cursed. Some say it was the work of a yeti or unknown cryptid. In fact, one of the last photos found on a camera shows a blurry figure, humanoid, standing among the trees. Was this coincidence or proof? 5. Infrasound theory. More recently, scientists suggested strong winds around the mountain could have produced a phenomenon known as the Kármán vortex street. This infrasound can cause panic, disorientation, and hallucinations. But does sound alone explain broken bones and missing tongues? 6. Radiation and UFOs. Several of the hikers' clothes tested positive for radioactive contamination. Witnesses in nearby villages saw glowing spheres of light in the sky that night. Was something unearthly responsible? Here are some eerie facts rarely discussed. Igor Dyatlov's watch stopped at 5:31 a.m. No one knows why all the watches froze around the same time. The woman missing her tongue. Lyudmila Dubinina also had her mouth filled with blood. Some believe she was alive when her tongue was torn out. The bodies showed no external wounds matching their internal injuries. Broken ribs, crushed skulls, but no bruising or cuts. Doctors compared it to the impact of a car accident. Their skin had turned orange, their hair gray. Survivors of Chernobyl would later describe similar symptoms of radiation poisoning. The Soviet government quickly sealed files and restricted access to the area. Families were told little. Investigators were pressured to close the case. The official conclusion? The hikers died due to a compelling natural force. But what natural force rips out tongues, smashes bones without marks, and contaminates clothing with radiation? For decades, the Dyatlov Pass Incident was buried under secrecy. And though files were reopened in recent years, the answers remain elusive. 9 young lives. A frozen mountain. A mystery that refuses to die. Whether it was an avalanche, secret military experiments, or something not of this world. What happened on that mountain in 1959 still chills the blood. So I'll leave you with this question. What could drive 9 strong, intelligent hikers to run half-dressed into a deathly blizzard and never return? If this story sent shivers down your spine, hit that subscribe button and join me here on Truth is Terror for more terrifying, real, unexplained mysteries, true crime, and haunted stories from around the world. And in the comments, tell me, do you believe the Dyatlov hikers died from human hands or something beyond our understanding? Until next time, sleep well.